Hello, this game is great and it's probably one of the best indie games of the year, and it will probably be also one of the most successful ones. Now, before we start, I just want to say that we will mostly speak about what you can do in the game, because I don't want to tell you the game is amazing, I want to show you why the game is amazing. Oh yeah, and I also have to say two things before we start. Number one, yes, the developers played a lot of Escape from Tarkov, as you'll notice from a lot of the things into the game themselves. But I think this will explain it much more easy. Bronze pocket watch, mechanical key. Don't ask why, it's in a tank truck at the far east of Ground Zero. I lost the key. That explains everything you need to know about the game and its connection to Escape from Tarkov. And number two, the game, sadly, I think it's a problem with the Chinese developers mostly. The game is not as hardcore as some people would like to say it is. The game is actually pretty, I don't want to say easy, but I'll just say that the progression is so great and you will have so much fun that you'll not even notice it. But the game is definitely for a more, not hardcore audience. This is, you can change some difficulties. I'm playing on extreme difficulty, but it's a number game. So for example, on this difficulty I just take extra damage, and if I die I lose everything. On the other difficulties, the enemies will have less health, will deal less damage, and if you die you can recover your gear, which is a bit of an annoying thing because I was expecting a more unified difficulty level altogether, because this means one thing: if the game gets updates or rebalances or new content, it will have to cater to the broad audience. So you have been warned, this is not as hardcore as Zero Sievert. By the way, this game is much better than Zero Sievert from many points of view, mostly because of how complex it is without actually being complicated, and that's what we need in video games. That's why Tarkov is so amazing. The game is complex but not complicated. Well, I guess I was doing kind of a little bit of a show and tell over here with all of the items you can pick up, but you can probably tell the Papage, the SKS 45, MP5, MP7, AK 103. Yeah, a lot of cool stuff over here. So let me put the items back, because this was mostly for show and tell. And we'll go on a little adventure. The car battery, the compass. The looting in this game is amazing, and I haven't even scratched the surface of the game, to be honest. We still have a lot of things to do, so let's just kind of mouse over all of these things. As you can see, these are attachments for weapons, armor sets, different ammo types, just like in Escape from Tarkov. Different ammo quality, of course, armor piercing is the best. Different types of food, chocolate, dynamite, stun grenades, incendiary grenades, electric grenades. Oh yeah, before I forget, the game also has two more important distinctions. It has a sci-fi element and also a little bit of a supernatural magical element. I don't want to spoil the mystery, but just know it has these elements as well. I'll not go into details about them because they're actually kind of fun and cool. Also, LEDX skin trans illuminator. Yeah, it sounds familiar, yeah? Now, again, this is not strictly an Escape from Tarkov clone. It has many distinct mechanics, like the Totem mechanic. If you die, you don't lose these, and you can create them with the help of feathers you can get from fallen enemies or fallen ducks. You can also fish, which is something that is a little more interesting, but I was looking for more worms, because after the video I'll do some fishing in the game. Also, you have different types of healing, as you can imagine, more health. Again, let's not get into the details. So, what can you do in the game? You have your warehouse that you can expand, which is a bigger part of the progression. The progression system is so amazing. Basically, you need to be a certain level, you need to give some money and sometimes some items. The dog tags are very hard to get. But sometimes you also need the item, the money, and the level requirement. As you can see, it's kind of like Tarkov, with expanding the warehouse. Also have the Wasp pickup locker, which is kind of like your mail. Over here you have the key register, so after you get a good key, something you'll want, you can use it until... The keys have no durability, so you can use them for as long as you like, with some exceptions. There are some exceptions, I'm not going to them, but it's better if you take the key, you come over here to the key register, you register it forever, then you can simply use it for free without having it in your inventory. Basically, you lose the key from your inventory and then you gain access to it forever. Just kind of a nice thing. Yeah, you might think, well, that's a bit annoying, but it's a single player game, so eh. And over here we'll have the trading booth, from where you can buy or sell items. Now you can get cash money, or I guess virtual money, if you want to call it like that. I guess these are ducks or whatever they want to be. So you can buy some stuff from here to get you started, but later you'll be able to craft everything you need. And the crafting bench also has a few upgrades. You can dismantle some items. For example, if you don't want a totem, you get some feathers back. You don't like the bullets, you can get gunpowder, and you can make some other ammo types. You also repair your equipment, and this is something, well, it's probably some people complain about this, but don't worry, it's not actually that drastic. So let's say the AK-123 has 120% max durability, 120 max durability, and if you use it a lot, then it will degrade durability, and then it will be repaired at a lower max durability. So basically, let's say it will go from 120 to 117 and so on. After they go below half durability, the guns are worse. So there are no infinite guns in the game. And again, this is where people are a bit upset about some mechanics because they want this to be a casual game. While the other, I guess this will be one of the most divisive games on Steam. Some people want it to be super casual, some people want it to be super hardcore like Duckov. So after the gun reaches below half durability, below 50% durability, then you have to get a new one. Just thought I'd let you know. You also have some custom difficulty options, but I don't recommend that. I just recommend you play on extreme and just forget about it, because the game itself is pretty easy once you figure out what to do. You'll also get blueprints that are in fixed locations. You take them back and put them over here, and then you can craft the item. For example, a blueprint that I found, well, I don't remember it, but for example, the cube gun, again, sci-fi elements, don't want to get into them. You can find a blueprint for a toast, and then you can make it at home. It's pretty easy to make it, you just need weapon parts or a PM. And also this thing will have upgrades of its own. Some of them will require materials, some of them will require really rare stuff. Armor piercing bullets crafting, armor crafting tier 2. Lots of wonderful things you need to do, and over here we have the skill upgrades, which will give you tiny upgrades that will definitely change the way the game is played. This is one of my favorite things about the game. The tiered progression system where you don't level up, but you have a lot of things you can unlock. Again, you need a lot of items and money and some other stuff for this. And you just have a lot of them. If you're wondering about the dog or the pet backpack, I'm not sure what animal this is. He has tactical gear on. This is basically the Duckov secure container, and you can have one item here and then two items. Now, if you put something here, it will reduce your weight. So for example, if you find something super heavy like a car battery, you can put it over here and it will reduce the weight as well. Also, oh yeah, you have the talent thing over here. So once you do those quests, you'll be able to be a more specialized duck, as you can see from these things over here. I haven't unlocked those because I haven't done the quests. Also, you have a lot of workbenches over here. I'll not go through all of them, but it's basically the same thing as you'd expect. Traders, you'll do some quests for them and they might unlock some other stuff for you. For example, you do this quest with the water, stash the water bottle, you unlock something else. And this is kind of like how progression is made. You also have the headphones, which you probably will always need, and so on. So you do quests for these guys to unlock better stuff, but there is also other types of progression. So you have, let's say, reduced hydration drain rate. You have also fishing, and then you can also make some injectors at the medic station. Over here, the physical training is exactly what you'd expect. More stamina, some mobility, some energy. Less stamina drain, less hydration drain. Some melee damage, more weight, because you also have inventory slots and weight, which is super important. I mean, same for the quest. You'll have some crazy quests as well. Use a melee injector and kill scavengers with a wooden stick. Beat them up with a wooden stick. That's actually pretty hilarious. Exactly what you would expect. So you have a lot of types of progression. So you have the base progression with building. Then you have the skill progression over there. Then you'll have the survival skills, the physical skills. Then you also have the totem progression, which you can make a lot of them. And then you can also just activate teleporters, but yeah, they're not as easy to use as you think. These ones are not in the game currently, so I'm not sure what that will be. You can also blow up some walls to open some parts of the map. It gets so crazy, I won't even go into the details of it. So you offer 8 feathers, you get a totem. The totems can go from 1 to 3, let's say, quality. 12 minus 12% physical damage, that's pretty good, but I think I'll have to sit with this one over here for now, and if you put 80, you'll just get more totems and you'll have a higher chance of being better grade. This is the biggest map on the game currently, but you have to use a ferry ticket which costs 5000 duck coins or whatever they are. And this is also a shortcut to the first map. Oh, there are so many things. By the way, the FOV and the other stuff will change as you play the game and you get upgrades and some other stuff. I'm not sure. I don't think you can use the car for anything. Probably I'll let you know if there's something like that in the future, because I plan to play the game from 0 to full. Now, let's speak about the, well, mostly the gun management. As you can see, you'll have scopes, you'll have muzzles, you'll have grips, you'll have stocks. Mostly it will be for, let's say, hip fire, aimed fire, and also as you can see, you have a bit of zoom because you have a 2x scope on our gun. Without getting into too many details, you can do headshots in the game, and this is also the cover system, mostly behind sandbags. Meaning the enemy, if they shoot at you, they'll hit the sandbags only. So there is a cover system in the game, but also you'll have running, you'll have dodging, you'll have a lot of other stuff as well. So body shot is 20, headshot is 32. That's mostly because I have some attachments that will give me more damage, and some totems for more damage as well. Now, when I have too much loot, I swap out the totem to this one. More weight, but I hope I will not die because that weight one is very hard to find. Let me show you full auto. Yeah, it's very hard to control in full auto. You'll just have to do short bursts. If you want to go for headshots, you don't use ammo in the hideout, which is great. Also, the treasures will restock, so meaning you cannot buy all of the ammo at the same time. You just have to wait. Some people disagree with this because the timer is on a real-time basis, so even if you sleep, you'll still have to deal with the timer. Sleeping doesn't cost anything. You also don't need to eat while you're in the base. And some people will probably be alarmed that you need to eat and drink even when you're in the base, but that's because you don't have the kitchen. You can eat for free in the kitchen. So let's just do a tiny mission. Night. You can change the music, by the way. You have a few music types in the hideout. At 6 it will be daytime. I don't want to spoil the surprise. Like I said, it's something sci-fi and something magical about the game. Let's go. Now, inside the game itself, you have a few ways to interact with the environments. Like I said, you can blow up a wall to unlock, let's say, a path to the northern area, which will take you to the next map. You can also just find keys to open some of the more interesting locations, but I think most of the keys will be found on the next map for this map. You also have a teleport. You can teleport from here to here. You can go from here to another map. You have a lot of cool areas to loot. This is the area with the boss. Just amazing, but let's just play the game for a little bit so you can kind of see. You also will always get a free pistol and bullet, so there's no way you run out of gear or items. As you can see, that's kind of like a little safe area. You have a vision range, but mostly you'll be hitting stuff. Now, you can also just remove the scope, kind of like an escape from Duckov, so you don't get that zoom. Because when you zoom with a scope, the cursor moves backwards a little bit. Okay. I'm just right-clicking right now, I'm not moving anything. Up and small, I guess we'll take that. You also have a trader in the map. See? Okay, maybe I should do that too fast. I got the key, I copied the key in the key machine, and now I can use it at all times. Like I said, there are some one-use keys only, but again, too much information and too many details. A Bitcoin? I never found a Bitcoin until now. I guess streamer loot. Confirmed. Yeah, the enemies will fight amongst themselves sometimes, but it's not as in-depth as in Duckov. So it seems like you are supposed to do a barrel roll every time you are running to get a little bit of a speed boost. You don't really need wood and nails after... Are you joking me? I never found a key case until now. Why is this so much like Duckov's? If I find keys, I can store them in here in the key case. Then you can sell them, you can do whatever you like with them. Indeed, streamer loot confirmed. So even though this is the first map of the game, you'll probably find new loot even after playing this map for 30 hours. That was good accuracy from the duck. So there are raiders, mercenaries, and there'll sometimes be different animals like a crow, a duck, or something else like a wolf. This is extreme difficulty, and I just want to point out that extreme difficulty is really hard. In the beginning, you only have, I think, about 45 HP or something like that. I have so much because of the upgrades I got. Okay, so that's the stuff I'll be keeping. This is the stuff I'll be selling. Oh wow, that's a lot of useful things. This gun has 45 bullets just because of the extended magazine I put on it. So if you die, you lose the gun and all of the attachments, as you can imagine. So that would be very, very sad. Also, you can, for example, go through here, go through there, and then you can open this gate. You cannot open this gate through here. You just have to go like that, and then it will be open forever. So you're actually changing the way the map is played. The more you play the map and the more keys you find, the more stuff you interact with, the more passages you open. There are also explosive barrels, which can be annoying. Oh, I missed my chance. Melee is very punishing on this difficulty, so that's why I don't let it beat me. Right now I'm trying to loot everything on the nearby area, so I can sell them to the vendor to get some cash money, because you can only use cash money at the vendor. That's actually one of the cheaper items. Some items will be worth more, some items will be worth less. If I remember correctly, the bandage stops bleeding, but the other medkits don't stop it, but they heal a lot more. There are a lot of nuances to the game that, well, I don't want to get into them because it will take me forever to explain most of the things. You don't really need to take the rusted ammo. Tactical boxes will have the best items sometimes, but usually they just give you an average item. You also can use the shovel to dig holes or to dig for treasure in some locations, in specific locations that is. Yes, I can show you. This is also where you get the worms. Sometimes there's something else, but usually it's the storage key and maybe something else. We have cool ducks over there. One of the things I like about the game that is the combat is so dangerous. Again, on max difficulty, if you're going to play on the easier difficulties, the game will seem like it's way too easy for you to get interested in. That's why I recommend everyone just try the game on extreme. Yeah, this is almost like over the containers. Oh, this game is so good with all of the upgrades and all of the stuff. Sanitarium room key. I guess now I can store it over there. Standard. The most expensive stuff, or the most expensive items in the game, will obviously be armor piercing ammo. I guess we can put one light bulb, take the AK, and then sell it to the merchant on the hill. I know that item is pretty cheap, so let me skip it. Yeah, you kind of have to know what items you need versus what items you would use in the early game, end game. Overweight already. I guess the medkits are pretty heavy. The coal core is used to upgrade your skills like I showed you in the base. Man, what do you throw away? Nothing, you just put this over here. And then you can loot more. The click will be worth more, let's see. I got hit by him. What? Behind cover, that's unfair. Okay, these things are expensive, those things are not so expensive, the bleach is not so expensive. You have to learn all of these things, and later on you can craft all of the things you need in the base or buy them, but for now you're kind of happy. I think happiness is just passive health regeneration. As you can see, our water and food goes down pretty quickly, even though we have some upgrades in the base. Actually, no. Let's put the bolt over there. Let's take the glick. Now, you don't have to play the game a certain way, and that's what I like most about the game itself. I actually managed to make a game where your choices really matter, and you can have a wonderful time, or you can have a very, very bad time if you don't understand the core mechanics. So that's why I'm kind of impressed by how the game managed to unite so many genres into a single one. Special, okay. So you can see they penetrate tier 6 body armor, which is exactly what you needed to kill the bosses. For some of the bosses, because you really need a different approach. You also will have grenades, different types of grenade like I showed you. Over here on the hill, it's this guy over here, the trader, which will give you cash money, and you can only buy from him with cash money. So that means you can get some better guns from here, you can get some better attachments that you will not find in your base for a while. And as you can see, the special ammo is... oh, wow. I will sell that, that's a lot of money. 150, yeah, you'll know the prices at some point. That's good money. The rail lanterns are also pretty good, so that's not so good. I guess there's no way to keep, let's say, the better healing stuff, but it's lighter weight. So it depends on your personal preferences. So, by the way, one time I died because I was bleeding and I couldn't heal the bleeding in time. So, that's why I always keep some bandages with me. Some of these will be quest items, some of these will be just items you need to progress or a quest, or let's say a base building project. Such a great game. Also, you'll find a lot of items here as well, so you can just come over here, loot the place, sell the inventories you have. But again, this is kind of like min-maxing a lot, so people will not know how to do this or when to do this. I don't need more metal barrels with fuel. Hot blood. Calm down. Fire also damages you if you step over it. I guess I'll end the little review we have with some fishing, some nice relaxing fishing. I forgot to take my fish barrel with me, otherwise the fish will take a lot of space in our inventory. That's okay. You know what, instead of fishing, which is just a boring little game, let's just go over here and fight some more. I shouldn't have done that. There can be a crew mercenary over here that kills you super fast. Now, because that guy has a shotgun, as you can see, he was not too keen on attacking me. That's what we have over here. Some body armor. Goggles. I guess I should have some spares with me. Not much to sell from that poor duck. You can also lift the cooked ducks so you can loot better or do something else. Let's just move them out of your way. Remember to always select your gun, MP155. You also have the Ultima version of the gun in the game. I guess I should also sell their ammo, because ammo is sometimes expensive if it's really high quality. And arrows, I guess that will be nice as well. Yeah, I'll sell that and then we'll go to the fishing spot and then I'll end the video. Obviously, I'll play more because every raid is so important and you cannot die. You cannot afford to die, really, especially after you get good gear. I already lost 2 fully kitted out AK-103 just because I like the challenge also. Cola is actually extremely well done in this game because it gives you healing, energy, hydration, happy effect, and also just generally a pretty low weight item that can do everything for you. Not sure what it says over there. Oh, car battery. And we're super slow, but we'll sell the car battery and we'll make a lot of cash money. And we don't really have to approach the game the same way I do. Some people just like to do quests. Some people just like to get everything, fill up their inventory, and then get out of the mission. Because you can extract at any point. You can extract either here at the extraction point or here at the entrance point. So yeah, some people will be disappointed by the lack of real difficulty options. But some people will like them, so I hope the developers manage to find a solution to these problems where you have extremely hardcore players versus extremely casual players. I also don't want to show too many of the enemies or too much of the special stuff like the bosses. The boss is almost golden and he has a huge stomp. So you can hear he's stomping much further away, which is by design, I guess, because you don't want to get surprised by a boss. He can kill you in seconds. And guess what you can find in the toilet? Oh, it's better that you don't see what you can find in the toilet. It's exactly what you think it will be there. Toilet paper and, you know, the other thing. But actually, before I loot, I should try and see if we have the boss. You also have some roaming bosses. You have a fixed location boss over here. And then you have a roaming boss which can be in a few different locations. He doesn't move. He stands perfectly still, but he can be in 2 or 3 locations. Also, the ducks react to the sound as well. He's not here. Just the bleeding effect. Wait a minute, we don't bleed while searching the inventories? I guess the first aid kit removes the bleeding. Okay, let's not get into the whole discussion of bleeding and some other stuff. MD40. You can also equip a crowbar that will open certain shortcuts. Again, very versatile game, very much what you'd expect. Okay, let's see if we can catch a fish. Also, you can just teleport from here to there and then extract. Such a cool feature. This is the wall I blew up with the grenade so I can open the way to the next map. And look around you even when you are sitting still fishing. No, the fish got away. I disagree with that fish. Let's try again. Keep steady. Oh. I'm not ending the video until I catch a fish. It's kind of a hard game. Yeah, I really hope they make more for the tactical Zero Sievert Duckov players. Red banded fish. The game is also kind of half serious, half joking. Yeah, let's catch another fish. I guess the rarer fish will be much harder to catch, but like you've seen in the base, improve your proficiency with the fishing, then you'll be able to, meaning your skill, you'll be able to catch more of the fishes. Yeah, so amazing game, what can I say? This is only scratching about 10% of what's actually in the game itself. We have to leave before it's 22 or 10 PM because then the bad stuff will start to happen. See you next time. Bye bye.